Thanks for coming to our first video version of Tuesdays with Todd and Regan, which now means we probably have to change our name because we're going to be transcending time. So I'm going to yeah, we're going to be transcending time. We're not going to be Tuesdays with Todd. Not going to be Tuesdays with Todd and Regan anymore. We're going to be teaching tech with Todd and Regan. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about creating new module elements in an iDesign template. So she's taking my so our audience is people who are currently using iDesign, or also anybody who's interested and wants to see a little bit about what iDesign is about. Some of the questions we've seen out there is, is it a one size fits all? Is there academic freedom or faculty choice? And so we're showing how we're modeling that there's different iDesign templates can be designed and are designed for different departments. And teachers can edit them. You can add content, you can change content, you can republish content. So starting off here, I'm going to start out showing how to use a module template. And that's a template that is already in iDesign, but then there's one that Regan and I created. We can also put in that gives a little more explanation on how to use the template. And so this one is how to copy over the graphics and icons first and then add your content. And this is a bit slower than what Regan's going to go over, but it's a little less technical. And then Regan's going to kind of approach it from the opposite direction. He's going to say, if you already have your content and want to just add the graphics, the icons and graphics, you can use the HTML editor. So he'll be showing that. So that's what we'll be doing today. Okay. So let me go to a different screen. And let me go to here. Why didn't it go there? Go to this screen. Sure. Now you're seeing my modules, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this right here that says module element templates do not publish. This is what I'm calling the module template. And below that right here, you'll often see one of these already in iDesign courses. The one I made has this how to use these module element templates already in there. So that's going to describe that, but that's what I'm going to describe right now. So this will be in a do not publish state. The module won't be published. The elements won't be published. The reason this exists is, so technically you could just click on this overview and edit your content into it and use that in your course, right? So if I click on it, a module overview is going to look like this. And it's going to have the standardized iconography, what to expect, what you learn, what you'll do. You could just edit this element, add your information and use it. But then you wouldn't have a template if you needed to use it again. So what we're trying to do is how to copy one of these elements over again and then add your content. Okay. So before I get started on how to do that, I'm just going to say, there's a lot more element types than this. This is what I sort of saw as the most common, an overview and a wrap up. You're probably going to want an assignment, a discussion, a reading, a quiz, and maybe a multimedia. But in any iDesign course, if you go up to the course user guide and then scroll down, you'll see the iconography. Here's really currently all the different types of module elements you could have. You could have a hands-on activity. You could have written assignments and papers. I have assignments in there already. I don't have learning materials. You could have a technology and simulation. So if you need any of these module elements, you can tell us and we can put that in your template. But I didn't want to overload it too much. I picked some that I thought would be probably the most common ones. Okay. And then before I go into that, I'll look at some different landing pages for iDesign. Like, well, what is iDesign? So I'm going to come to one of the first designs we had last summer was designed for the RN to BSN program. And this is basically what it was a syllabus landing page. You have a smaller graphic up here, and you have the getting started modules and course user guide. This option doesn't work quite the same anymore because they liked it because they could have the course summary show up on the landing page. This utilizes this Canvas syllabus. But since we now moved to simple syllabus, it's a little harder to get this won't default in to this page. You'd have to build it out, like maybe build out a graphic or something like that. But if you wanted to use this type of landing page and you needed some of this type of course summary, you could reach out to Regan or I. We could help build that. But what you'll see now is on these syllabus landing pages, you'll see this these wording right here. It says, please take some time to review the course syllabus by selecting simple syllabus. So it's just redirecting to simple syllabus. So that's basically the syllabus type landing page. And then here, let's see, I have just the home page type landing page like welding has. And this is really a really common landing page too. It just has get started, syllabus, modules, course user guide. And the image, you can edit the image. You can change that image to whatever you want. And okay, so those are basically the two. They have different module structures too. So look at this welding course real quick, the module structure. After the first introductory modules, you can see something you'll see in most iDesign courses. You'll see a module overview. And at the end, you'll see a module wrap up, just as a best practices pedagogical feature, an overview and a wrap up. But in welding, they use a lot of links to, I think it's Cengage, and they have a lot of study guides. And some of their courses, they're very heavy on videos. So that's a really large module structure, a lot of chapter video guides. And then you can see that's kind of how that's the structure they have. A lot of assignments, one discussion, and an overview and a wrap up. For this type of welding course, that's their basic module structure. Like I say, it's some of their other ones. Some of their welding module structures are just like video places to hold videos. And then looking at the NURS, the nursing course module structure for nursing theory, there's the instructor resources, which is not published, getting started, and then the module. For the nursing theory, there's a lot of reading, discussion, assignment. Again, you'll see the overview, stuff to do, and a wrap up. And something else to look at is the labeling of the module and the module elements. So there's always module 1, the vertical line. And so each element of the module also says module 1. And this just helps students to keep locating themselves, especially if they're on phone or smaller devices, just to always keep locating that this is module 1. You can see really quickly that that's the scope of module 1. That's the scope of module 2.
And Todd, like in my class, I just changed the word to week 1, to keep them everything. So everything under what would be the module 1 module here just says week 1, has the date and the content, and then everything else says week 1 where it says module 1.
Yep. Sounds good. Are you keeping the vertical?
Yes. Yeah, I like the vertical line.
Yeah, I like that too. Not sure why.
Well, I think it just helps separate it. It's just organizationally appealing.
It does. It gives it a similar of enough look. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I mean, the hard thing about online learning or online anything is you build habits. And then if the more those habits break, the more confusing things get. So we're just trying to build some simple graphic habits, like the module or week 1 is repeated. And then if you click on any of I'll click on learning materials. If you click on any of them, there's clear iconography, which is consistent throughout Grayson College. And so each one of the elements will have like the learning materials iconography, let's click on the discussion. So that discussion icon will be consistent, any discussion in Grayson College. So it starts to become very familiar to students that that's the discussion icon. What else was I thinking about? Okay. So that's just a view of different ways you can structure modules. Each department and even each courses can have module structures based on what they need. We like the pedagogy practice. Something you don't see as easily is the sequencing and chunking that goes into it. Course designers have looked at it. They've sort of looked at the length of every module element and make them pretty consistently the same. And for a lot of you, that won't seem unusual at all, or maybe it seems evident to you. But there are classes where one module element, for sometimes you can see in a class a module element, you click on it, and there's 2 or 3 weeks worth of work in. There can be 2 or 3 weeks worth of work in module element 1, and then module element 2 could be 10-second reading, and you move on, right? So it's a real inconsistent structure or chunking. So they're sequenced and chunked the best practices of course design and the pedagogy. For example, an overview elicits pre-existing knowledge, and then a wrap up to sort of emphasize what we learned are things we really like to see in there. But again, those are flexible in how you do that, or even if you wanted to do that, it's not locked down at all. It's not locked down like a blueprint course. A teacher can unpublish any part of it. A teacher can move stuff around. A teacher can add their own elements into it. A teacher can edit any module element. So, and then if I look at so I'm back to the welding real quick. Okay, I looked at those. Looked at those module structures. So then back to my original module template. So I'm going to just show you how to, if I'm building a module element in one of my iDesign courses, and I want to recreate an assignment, right? I can use this assignment template. So just looking at it real quick. That's the iconography. These boxes are the graphic, the sort of signature Viking values at the bottom. It's nice that if that's very consistent for students in all courses, that starts to become consistent. So going back out, if I want to create an assignment, I can use this template. I can just come over here to the right and click on it. And I can click copy to. So for me, I'm going to take note real quick of this number up here in the URL bar. After the word courses, you don't have to do this number. You can just put your name of your course and it's going to recognize it. But I do so many different courses. I'm going to copy 36589. That's because I'm going to copy it to my own course. I'm going to copy this assignment template into the course I'm currently in. So that's 36589. Note that number. And right here, I'm going to copy 36589. You can also just type the name of your course and it'll come up. So it's easy to do. It's very intuitive, predictive. So that's the one I'm copying into. And now it's going to ask me which module. I don't have to choose which module. It's optional, but I know I want which module I want it to go into. I want it to go into my modules element template. I'm going to put it in that same module. And then I can choose if I want it at the top or at the bottom or before or after something. You can pick right where you want it to go. I'm going to put it at the bottom. And I'm going to click copy. After that, it's going to tell you the operation has started. And so for a really long module element, that might be a couple minutes. This probably won't be that long. Just refresh it real quick. Don't see it yet. Try refreshing it. Okay, there it is. So there it's copied, took a minute. So So now you see, you have to not get confused. I have two things called the same one. The one I just did, I can click on it now and I can click edit. And I can change the name to whatever I want. I can come in here and I can change any of my instructions. I can change any of the guidelines. So now you can add your own content. This basically all you've done is you added the iconography and the graphics already in here. And now you can add your instructions, your due dates, your guideline. You still have the rich content editor, so you can insert anything you need. You can embed a link or an image. You can edit it in any way, but it's going to be the same iconography and graphics. So let me just save that. I'll save and publish that one because this one I am going to use. And then I go back to modules. And you'll see that's the one I just created. And now I can drag that, I can drag that. I can drop and drag it to any other module. So I can take it out of templates and move it somewhere else. Okay. So for example, I drop it right there. Okay. That's how you do it. And then you still have your template left. If you in a pinch, you could just click on that and edit it and use it, but then you wouldn't have it to use again. But it's up to you. You can do that. To keep your module templates there, they're still available. What do you think, Sarah? Ridiculous?
No, I'm glad you're showing me this. I'm the first time that I set it up, I didn't do that. I just edited the original ones. And so then when I wanted to do it for other classes, I was like, oh, now my template has all of the content from my first class in it, so
yeah.
that's.
I did the same thing. Yeah.
And so if somebody wanted this in their class, the module element templates, they would just message you to get it added into a sandbox class or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they don't have to have, they don't have to have finished going through iDesign. If they want to use this module element template in a sandbox and start working with it, building a course, they can do that. And if there's not,
that's what I did. I mean, we didn't work with the iDesign people. You and Regan just, let me look at some different templates and then put it in a sandbox and I played with it though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's that's how you build it out. And then, so Regan, I'll stop sharing. And if you want to show us how to do from the other point of view of already have your content and want to do some HTML copy and adding your graphics to your already content.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically this is working from the other side. If Todd was showing you how to modify the template, this is how to modify an existing page. Let's say you already have a page that you like, that you've worked on and that you like the way it looks, but it needs to fit into the iDesign scheme. It needs to, the graphics need to be the same, and it needs to match the iDesign template. So if you're working in an iDesign template, the first thing that you would do is import the page. Just like Todd just copied that page in, you would do the same thing into your iDesign template. So you're going to go back to your original class and get that one page and copy it into your iDesign template. And so where I'm at right now, I just copied this page. This is a test page for an iDesign snippet. Basically, a snippet is just.
Regan, I have a question.
Yeah.
So they can do that same thing I did where I went to the
Exactly.
to the right and hit copy and then
Exactly.
So you can copy it to a different course, right?
Exactly. And just copy it into whatever you would like. If I can show you how, if you need help, if someone needs help on how to copy a page, we can go back through that with you. I just didn't want to do it because you had just done it.
Perfect.
So, but there are other ways to copy content over, but this is for if you have content that's already built. Let's say this page, this is content you've already created. You want to keep it. This is an overview of my course. I want to keep my new template. How do I keep this content but add the iDesign look without rebuilding the page? Whatever will I do? Okay, this is one way to do it. So it's a little more technical. You have to open up the HTML editor and you have to put in a little bit of code, but I have it set up where you can copy snippets of code, and I will send anybody that wants it. I will send you this. It's just a text document that has the code snippets installed. So let's go ahead and edit the page. And then down here, to get into the HTML editor, you click on these opening and closing brackets. And when you do that, you will see the code behind the page. So you'll notice I had 3 lines of code. They were set up as paragraphs. So there's paragraph 1. This is the content. Paragraph 2, how can I keep it? Paragraph 3, whatever will I do? That is the HTML code, and these tags here are just paragraph tags. So what you would need to do in order to do this, and it's fairly simple. Let me get rid of that little icon right there. What you would do is, first of all, you need a space at the very top of the page. So I'm going to click here next to this bracket so I can just make one line at the top of the page. I hit the enter button, it dropped everything down. Now I have a blank line. I'm going to open my text document that I have all these code snippets copied into. And this was an overview. So if you'll look, I have it for overview pages. This will be the top. We're fixing to paste into the top of the page. And then I have these divider lines. So what you want to do is copy everything between the divider lines, just like that.
Nice, nice.
And then I like to do Control C, but you can right click and copy or edit copy, however you choose. But I'm going to go Control C, and then I'm going to paste it on top of my content that's already there. I just paste it in. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to come down to the very last piece of content that's already there, drop down a line, and I'm going to paste the bottom. These 2 little words here, I'm going to copy and paste that. And now when I save it, voila, I have an iDesign page.
Nice.
What those are 2 division tags. Basically, think of divisions as boxes on web pages that contain content. And so what we've done is we put my existing content, we put that inside a box. The outside of the box looks like an iDesign page. It has the Grayson values. It's got if you'll look carefully, there's the Grayson logos kind of superimposed, really low opacity in the background there. And then the iconography is there. And so what this is basically, it's a container to put your content in. And so that's all you do. This is a lot faster than say, if you wanted to use your content, going back in the template and pasting in your content, copy and pasting it from an existing page into the template page, and then saving the template page as another name. So all you have to do is paste the top, and this works with any of the iconography. I've got assignments here. I've got overview pages here. I've got discussion pages. The discussion page is a little bit different. I don't know if you've ever edited one of their discussions, but if you do, what you have to do is click on these 3 dots. Whoops, where is it? Yeah.
Don't you have to go into the actual discussion first?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct. And I did not do that. You got to go into the discussion and then click on the 3 dots. And that's where edit's at. Thank you.
Okay.
I had completely forgotten to go in, but yes, that's what you have to do to edit the look of a discussion question. Everything else, you just click on the edit. But once you do click on the edit, then there is your HTML editor. And there, if you'll notice, this was already made. There are the 2 boxes. There's the code for those. So what I basically did was I just took their container code and I put it into an easily reproducible format that you can just copy and paste into. So any page that you have can be turned into an iDesign, similar looking iDesign page, if that makes sense. Okay.
Well, it's a good chance for me to add this question. Like I would add this question to the video is like, but so what I want to know is, if I'm copying code, what if I really mess it up? Am I going to break Canvas?
Oh no. That is the beauty of Canvas, is it's easy to go back to where you were. It's very easy.
What's the worst thing that could happen if I mix stuff up? Like what you did, just like extra.
That's it. You just have to delete.
A little messed up or something. Yeah.
You have to go back and delete what you added in.
Yeah.
So it's not, there's nothing that you can do to this page that's going to affect your course or your students or anything else.
But if you're playing with it and you just mess it up and you can't get back, you can just delete it and recopy it.
Delete it and restart it.
Yep.
I also tend to, when I'm working in HTML code and I'm worried about something not looking right, I will copy the whole page of what I have first.
Yeah.
And copy it into a notepad document. And then if I mess it up just so bad I can't fix it, I'll delete the whole page and paste that back in. And now I'm right back where I started from.
What's the good thing about a notepad document and where do you get it?
Notepad is built into Windows. It's the handiest text editor ever devised. If you click on start and either search for Notepad or just type in NOTE, basically it's just a text document. It does nothing else. But if I wanted to, let's say I'm
Like it
in
doesn't
here.
have formatting or stuff like that.
Yes, it has no formatting, no, you don't have to worry about hidden tags like a Word document. You don't ever want to use Microsoft Word for this because it puts in hidden tags that you will not enjoy when you paste them into here. But I can copy my whole page. Oops, stop that. I don't want to bookmark that. And I can paste it into Notepad in a blank Notepad document. Now, once I have that, I can do whatever I want to this page. And now I've got it in such a mess, I don't know what to do. And so if I save it, it's going to throw a fit. It's not going to work. And now I have a mess.
I mean, it looks the same to me. It's the same kind of Greek. You know?
Yeah. So I can delete everything.
Okay.
And I can copy all
So
this back.
it's kind of crazy looking code. So if I'm working with this HTML code copy, can I claim that I've been doing IT work?
You can actually. In fact, you know, you can get you can get paid for that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but
So
yeah,
is IT work really just copying and pasting stuff? Is that really like?
Don't tell anybody that.
Okay. All right, because that's
a lot of coding is going to sites like GitHub and what is the other one I forgot? Anyway, they're code repositories and thinking, you know, I've got a problem. I need to do this to solve it. Look, there's some code that's already written and copy paste. So don't tell anybody or their pay rates will go way down.
Yep. I won't tell anybody.
So that's basically the way that we can copy and code HTML to make a page look like we want it to look and to make it fit into the iDesign visual scheme. And it's quick. It's fairly simple. It is modestly, I'm not even going to say modestly, it's moderately complicated. It requires at least familiarity with HTML editor. So it might not be something for the brand new teacher that's just getting started in Canvas. However, if you are interested in a more in-depth tutorial, if you would like more help, I would be very happy. If you reach out, let me know. I will be very happy to sit down next to you at a computer and we can go through it and I'll show you exactly how to do it and maybe go more in detail in the explanation so that it will make a little better sense to you.
Excellent. What do you think, Sarah? Is there one of these you lean more towards than the other? One of these routes?
Well, if I was, just originally setting up my class without anything, I probably would try to copy in the HTML code on my pages. But moving forward, I think I have enough of the template set up. I probably would just copy and edit as I needed.
Okay. What's your reaction to, you've been using the your iDesign course since last spring or summer, right?
Since I think the second 8 weeks of the spring semester.
What do you think?
I like it. I mean, I think it helps keep things organized and I think the benefit comes is when if the Grayson would adopt it, institution wide, I think it would be helpful for students to identify what they need to do and where it is. So
have you been getting any feedback from students?
On the student evaluations, they just said they enjoyed how organized the class was. So
okay, interesting. Awesome.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for attending today. if anybody out there does want to see any evidence of studies, I have like 6 studies that were done on how course design templates and consistent course design structures help student learning. I can send those out. Sure, they're an interesting read. Quite a bit of work's been done on it. So anyway, thank you for attending. That's all I got.